Satellite broadcast van's been mentioned, and John, you'd have had a long association with it. Shall we go out and into the garden with Greenfingers? John Colwill.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's quite normal, by the way, and as a weather presenter, that you get the last word after the news meeting. And whatever time they've left you is also quite normal.
Plenty of time, John.
May I begin by saying I came in as a very raw trainee, a relatively new Tom, and I walked into the august ABC, and there in the duty soups office were big people like these people. As a trainee, you ran scared of these, terrified almost indeed. Ian Wynne was a frightening figure, was he not? However, there were smiling faces, I'm delighted to say. One of my first recollections is taking, as a trainee also, you got to make the morning tea and deliver it around the place. And I took it in to then John Juan presenting the morning programme, and without thinking, put it on a record which was on the turntable. I'll leave the rest to your imagination. My very first on air, and coming in as a trainee, and we did get very good training, and I'm very grateful for that. My very first on-air experience was with the Country Hour, and I was asked to read the station rainfall. Now, as you know, we have a lot of stations in WA with some very strange names. So it's a challenge at the best of times, particularly for somebody who's never heard of half of these places, but an even greater challenge when you're halfway through and somebody who should probably best remain nameless leans over and lights the sheet of paper in zero. It was deep-end philosophy and survival of the fittest. So let's go to television. They've referred the weather map. My very first weather must have been truly awful, and I didn't improve much over the years, I don't think. But when we first started, we had a series of metal frames, metal slide frames, and on them were the temperatures, and the temperatures were stuck on by magnets. So you had to go, when you did the map, you went and put the temperatures up, figures on the magnets. It seemed a really bright idea to us one day, when one of our presenters was on, that it would be a great idea to interfere with the pointer, because we had a pointer in those days, banned later on, but then we had a pointer. And one of the things we did was board out the end of the wooden pointer and inserted a very strong bar magnet. So when this poor soul during the weather went, and here, bang! And in an attempt to move it off, all these other magnetic figures were shuffling away. There was another occasion, we'll leave names out of it, where one of our, well, let's call him John Barnett. One of the weather presenters had a habit of, a semi-nervous habit of, as he was talking, flexing the pointer like this. And one night it went crack. And his hands were out of view, so the vision stopped too, and he was down there, and he looked down and said, "Oh dear, I seem to have broken my pointer." The moment I cringe about, and maybe I shouldn't record it for posterity, is that I was on the weather on Christmas Eve 1974, and I said, I said words to the effect, I'm not sure about the exact words, but that cyclone trace is heading towards the Northern Territory, so we won't worry about that anymore. Well, let's go to the OB van very briefly. The OB van was a wonderful thing, and I want to pay tribute to all the technical boys, because we were just the pretty faces. The people who made it work were all the technical people, and it's great to see so many of you here. It was very tempting, and some selfish people did, when they made a mistake, blame the technical crew, and I always thought that was the crime of the century. You never did that. These people who were working in the background were really skilled people, and they did everything to make you look good, and if you stuffed it up, you stuffed it up. They didn't. But just occasionally they did. We used to record Greenfingers in those days, as it was, in one go. There was none of this post-production business that there is nowadays. We would start, the captions, everything went on. Remember this, Dodge? The whole lot. So theme music, everything would come up. So the OB band would come out to my place, and the joke was the first thing out was the urn and the tea table. Actually, that was third because they had to get something else out first. And a big crew, and all working in unison all the way through. So we started the program, and we went and we completed the 15 minutes in one go, and it was a pretty good one, I thought. And then the message came back, oh, we forgot to press the record button. That's life. And the second one, unfortunately, wasn't as good. So, David, briefly, thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, thank you.